making friends in the morning.
Every morning, I just think you're the best.
Tell your friends about
The
it.
Boss, your beach oldies and sports stations, WHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, and W268CU Shelby.
Spanning 6 decades of sun, fun, and beach music classics. It's On the Beach with Charlie Brown.
That's where I wanna be.
Now from the Beach Music Hall of Fame, here's your host, Charlie Brown.
Welcome to On the Beach, sponsored in part by
Z-Max Racing Classics, Friday afternoons at 1 o'clock from the Performance Racing Network, right here on 1590 AM WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia.
High pressure over the area today should leave us with plenty of sunshine. A few fair weather clouds in spots. We'll continue with comfortably low humidity as highs reach about 75 to 80. Tonight will be mostly clear and cool. Lows in the low to mid 50s. We'll see increasing high cloudiness on Sunday. It'll be breezy and a little cooler. Highs 71 to 76 degrees. It looks like any rain or gusty winds from Irma should be spreading in from the south on Monday and Monday night. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
The end of summer savings sale is underway at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Coming out for the largest savings of the year. Hi, I'm Calvin Hastings. I want to invite you to join the boss as we broadcast live this Saturday, September 9th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. We'll have free hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks, and register to win some great prizes, including tickets to this year's Renaissance Festival. And check out the great deals. Save up to $11,000 on selected 2016 Cadillacs. So plan now to be there this Saturday, September the 9th, for the end of summer savings sale event and our live radio remote broadcast at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC, located at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall.
This one last chance to race for a championship.
The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series.
The intensity builds to a higher level.
NASCAR's regular season comes to a close.
Chase Elliott got shoved way up out of the group.
And the playoff field is finalized.
Junior flexing some major league muscle in the outside lane.
The Federated Auto Parts 400.
He drives around Denny Hamlin.
Saturday at 6:30 on the Motor Racing Network.
Federated Auto Parts 400 from Richmond, Virginia. Saturday, September 9th at 6:30 on Big O Country, 1590 AM WCSL, and online at kdcbroadcasting.com.
This is the voice of the Blue Devils, David Shoemate, inviting you to join us for the 2017 edition of Duke Blue Devils football. We'll bring you all the action all season long, including in-depth analysis and exclusive access to players and coaches before the opening kick and after the final whistle. This is your exclusive source for Duke football.
Duke, North Carolina, and Clemson football right here on the Boss and Big O Country, your beach oldies and sports stations. Don't miss Field Day, September 30th from 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. at the Deal Park Walking Track in Kings Mountain. Come out and relive an old school field day for both adults and kids. Admission is free to enjoy the more than 30 craft and food vendors and the free concert featuring former The Voice finalist Riley Vetterer. Or go to kmfieldday.com and register to play in one of the great games like dodgeball, tug of war, egg toss, three-legged race, and more. Registration is only $10 for adults, $5 for kids. Again, get more info and register to play at kmfieldday.com. Have a blast and play old school at KM Field Day.
Now you can earn 1,000 points for every night you stay at the Hampton Inn. It's part of the Hampton Inn's Grand Nights promotion. Your points will add up to unforgettable experiences. Find out more by visiting your nearest Hampton Inn. You'll always come back with a tale to share. Start turning points into stories worth sharing. Visit the Hampton Inn on Remount Road in Gastonia and start earning your points today.
And good morning. What's up, Terry? I don't even know what he's babbling about coming down the hall. Good morning, Saturday. Football Saturday. NFL action. We are ready. We're going to talk a little fantasy. Zeke is loose, Terry. He's been free. Zeke
free.
Is free. And to the guy who picked him 2 spots ahead of me, you know what I want to say to you. Evan Ludwig in the house after a night out at East Lincoln last night. Welcome this morning. JP, John Prather in the house. He's on the board this morning. So if you anything messes up, we know who to blame today. Just Smoke, you're off the hook today. You get to sit in here in the big chair, and you're not in charge of anything this morning. So like Andre said, since you're a scab now, we gotta watch you very carefully this morning. How's that internship going?
It's good. It's good.
Is that all you got to say about it? It's good.
I've met Ramona, so that made my mom jealous.
Okay. Well, congratulations on your internship. If you want to watch our show, if you're listening this morning on 1050 or 1590 AM, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies, whoever you want to tell. Sports Talk on Saturdays. We're talking all kinds of sports. We're talking high school sports. We're talking anything and everything. And if you want to watch us, you can find us anywhere on the World Wide Web, on your any smartphone, tablet, laptop, computer, anything that connects to the internet. Pull us up on YouTube, or you can watch us on KTC Broadcasting right there on the front page, youtube.com/whatsupshopper or ktcbroadcasting.com. All right, guys, had a good night last night. Let's go over some scores.
All righty. It was Ashbrook defeating Forest View last night, 40-26. Burns upends on East Rutherford, 31-23. It was Cherryville stopping a 2-point conversion attempt with 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter to defeat Drone 29-28. It was South Point having no trouble with 3-0 Clover. South Point 28, Clover 0. And Lincoln rolls over East Gaston 51-12. Tyshawn Harris, 15 carries, 208 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Quite a day there. For North Gaston and East Lincoln, North Gaston gets their first win, beating the Mustangs 28-7. Hickory upsets Hunter Huss after the Huskies led 19-0 as Hickory wins 28-27. Kings Mountain comes back and beats Cuthbertson 27-17. They stay undefeated as they'll take on Shelby next week. And North Lincoln hangs in with Alexander Central, but the Cougars beat the Knights 40-36. And Fred Teed Ford wins the Battle of Hog Hill, edging the Rebels 22-20.
Over in Shelby, it was Shelby defeating Crest 21-14 in a very hard-fought game. Shelby come up with 2 safeties. They run their record now to 25-game winning streak, #1 in the state of North Carolina. Lake Norman Charter defeats Highland Tech 36-7. North Surrey no trouble with the Community School of Davison 43-7. Cannon rolls over Pine Lake Prep 49-0. And Chase picks up win #1 for them this year with a 27-21 win over East Henderson.
Thomas Jefferson beats Trinity Academy 41-13 as the Griffons stay undefeated. Northside Christian Academy and Union Academy is delayed and will be played on September 15th. Newton Conover stays undefeated as they beat East Burke 44-6. High Brighton stays undefeated as they beat South Caldwell 48-0, as Newton Conover and High Brighton will be playing next week. Freedom beats Patton in the battle in Motown 31-14.
It was Statesville going to 3-1 on the year with a 37-10 win over West Iredell. Watauga remains undefeated, going to 4-0 with a 50-26 win over Wilkes Central. It was West Caldwell 54, Ashe County 40, Mitchell County 49, McDowell 19, and Maiden continues to roll with a 28-7 win over St. Stephen's.
Pisgah beats RS Central 49-14. Bandy's beats Bunker Hill 33-7. And for the first time in over 5 years, Garinger gets a win as they beat Monroe Central Academy 42-0. They break their 55-game losing streak, which was only second in the state for the longest losing streak. The largest and longest was 59. So
Gumberry.
Way
back in 1972 through 78. They lost 59 straight.
So fortunately for Gumberry, they will be able to keep the record that people don't want, as Garinger finally wins for the first time since I was a freshman in high school.
Congratulations to Garinger. Well, Smoke, what kind of games took you by surprise? I know you is over, and I don't know, in Lincoln County, a lot of people down at East Lincoln are really struggling now. They know their defense is showing up every game, but they're lacking offense. They're getting nothing out of the offense.
Yeah, looking at the East Lincoln North Gaston game, East Lincoln got off to a great start because North Gaston tried to pull a fast one, do an onside kick, but didn't work out, and East Lincoln was able to score quickly in the game, take a 7-0 lead. North Gaston then drove down the field, tied it up at 7-7. Then East Lincoln moved it down the field again and was at the 1-yard line, and then a nice goal line stand by the Wildcats gave them the ball back at the 1-inch yard line. It was that close. So, then North Gaston, I believe, scored again, and then the penalty started to mount up on the Mustangs. And then whenever they had any momentum, it was either a penalty or a mistake, and then that led to turnovers. So, I mean, it looked like the Mustangs offensively were able to control the ball until the second half, and just things got out of hand. Their defense was getting tired because that triple option is just so old now that not many defenses know how to go against it, because you're not going against that offense every week, so it's pretty rare that you'll go against a triple option offense these days. And I think that kind of helped in the Wildcats' favor, and that gave them their first win, as East Lincoln's now 0-3, and they've just fallen off the earth, it feels like, from what they've been for the last 12 years.
Well, Coach, Smoke, what does Coach Lubowitz have to do to change? I mean, what are you seeing on offense? I mean, you've seen the quarterbacks that they're putting out there. Is either one of them producing, or does the offense is just, no production at all?
Oh, well, we'll say Chase Jones did play the whole game at quarterback, so that's the first time this year that we haven't seen Barnett in a game. So I think that's just start in the positive direction that you're going to keep with one quarterback. And I feel like really your only the opportunity and thing you have to do here is let him grow, because the run game actually looked pretty solid against North Gaston last night with Chandler Jones and Christian Parks even a little bit. Passing game was, it's there. It was definitely better than what it's been the last 2 games, but it's just, unfortunately for East Lincoln, once their defense gives up double-digit points, it seems like it's already out of reach for the Mustangs, because the most points they've scored in a game this year is 7, and that was last night. They've only scored 16 points in their first 3 games, and that is just a far cry from what we've seen from the Mustangs in the past.
Well, it's a little bit tougher, Smoke. When your quarterback is starting today in Chapel Hill, and he's I don't know if he's starting or not. He might be starting.
He's playing at least.
He's going to get to play in Chapel Hill today. We'll see how that goes, and we'll talk about that there in a little bit as we break down. Talk about Chaz and the Tar Heels. They're today at noon o'clock against the Heisman Trophy winner. And I told them last night, Smoke, might be watching future Heisman Trophy winner if you work hard. And Chaz is a big boy and can run hard. There's no reason that something like that couldn't happen. Well, moving on to the high school games, other big games last night on the KTC schedule, guys. How about Cherryville in the 2-point stand last night? Ben DeVinny makes a huge stop last night. They go for 2 in the win, Smoke. And a lot of times it don't always work, does it? And Cherryville wins 29-28. I want to congratulate Coach Pruitt. I'm sure he's going to give us a call this morning. He's won him some tickets last night in our Tar Heel trivia.
Wow! And
congratulations to him. And I'm sure he'll use those tickets for fun. Have a good day. And anyway, they win 29-28 against Strong.
Yeah, and this is kind of a complete 180 from what happened last year when they played North Gaston, because Cherryville went for 2 last year against North Gaston trying to get their first win under Coach Pruitt, and they missed it, and now they get to reverse luck here. Now they actually hold Drone for a 2-point conversion and get able to get a win. That's their second win, both against 2A opponents. They now find themselves at 2-2. I believe they only had 3 wins last year, so he's already almost matched his win total from last year. And Cherryville, nice job for them. Gotten off to a pretty solid start.
Terry, you don't have those standings, do you? That's why I was going to pull them up online if you didn't.
I don't have them here in front
Sometimes
of me.
you got your notes. Terry's notes are random. Sometimes he's got what I want. Sometimes he don't. So I have to just ask him sometimes because he might pull something out of his bag of food or something over here. How was breakfast, guys? Mitchem's Kitchen Sports Talk, 704-276-1155. How was breakfast?
I loved it. I had that biscuit and gravy with a side little piece of bologna.
So I ain't even got to mine yet. I woke up so late after a night last night.
Oh, I hadn't even gave it to you yet.
I know. I ain't even got it. That's fine. That's fine.
I'm going to eat it. That's what I want to do.
It's keeping it warm in the back. I don't need it right now, Terry. We'll be all right. We had a lot of Papa John's Pizza last night and Max Grill, and we make sure we keep full here from Friday to Saturday about 5 o'clock. If you and then you go by Ronaldo and see the gang over there, we're taken care of. But the rest of the week, if you want to come feed us, I guess we'll
take care of that.
Mondays, guys, we're starving by Monday. Somebody come bring us a watermelon, right, Smike?
Yeah.
We got more people that bring us watermelons, Terry. And
hey, there's never nothing wrong.
I know,
with it.
I love it. Looking last night, Thomas Jefferson did win, Terry.
Yep, they did.
Did you get the score on that?
I did.
Oh, you did post it on the board, 41-13. A couple of scores we didn't have last night. And thanks, Terry, for rounding that up for us. They're now 4-0 in the conference. Bessemer City 3-0. Union County and Mountain Island are 2-1. Pine Lake Prep, Highland School of Technology at 2-2. Cherryville sitting under at 2-2, and Community School of Davidson at 1-2. Those are overall records. They haven't played any in conference yet. So that one is looking like right now a Bessemer City and Thomas Jefferson race, and we'll see if anyone else has anything to throw at them. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. And that brings us up to next week's rivalry game, Smoke. Last night, now you got me scared now. I don't know what's going on up there. Coach Pack and the gang got me a little worried, Terry. Me and Terry, be honest with you, we did not pick that score.
We was close to the score.
What was the final score?
40-36. Alexander Central
not
got
35. Okay, so we got to change that on our scoreboard if you're watching online. So I predicted, Smoke, that there would be 79 points scored in that game. I'm not going to tell you what I predicted the score would be, but it wasn't 40-36.
Yeah, I know what the score is
Terry,
close to.
Predicted 66 points, so he had the under in this one, and he was far away too in his guess, if you want to say it. So me and Terry's going to apologize to the North Lincoln Knights.
I'm telling you, man, I'm very impressed.
What a night, right,
impressed.
Terry? Going at on the road too, right, Terry?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that, and I'm like you. When you look at the game coming up between all two, you know Bessemer City's going to bring defense.
I was feeling great till about 7 o'clock last night, Terry, about this next game. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, not a problem. But now that you got this game coming up, and you find out, I mean, North Lincoln had opportunities to win that game. Smoke.
Yeah. Well, within under.
Have you talked to your dad about this?
Yeah.
To give us some insight into that.
Well, they couldn't stop Reed McCrory, no matter what. And I know Alexander Central had Bryson Godfrey hurt, who's their key runner. But still, I would have thought Alexander Central would have taken care of business last night against North Lincoln, even though you have your lead running back hurt. And it was under a minute to go. They had the ball at the 15-yard line into red zone, and then one of their wideouts, who was on the opposite side of where the play was going, jumped. So that moved them back to the 20, and then on the last play, Reed McCrory scrambled out, threw it to Daquan Camp. He called it in the end zone, but he was out of bounds by about a yard. So they were only a yard away from pulling off a major upset. And if they would have won that game, that would have been the biggest win for North Lincoln since they beat Lincolnton in 2014. So, I mean, but still, a great effort by North Lincoln.
I can't say enough for nobody. I would say expect that's probably the biggest surprise loss. I would say hey, they played good and didn't win. You know what I mean, Terry. I guess some people might argue Crest Shelby like that. Maybe people expect Shelby to win by more than that. But Crest and North Lincoln both put on some good shows last night and almost got big upsets.
Yeah, and I'm going to give them a lot of credit. I'm going to give Coach Pack and your dad and the whole coaching staff, because they fell behind. I think it was 15-8, and then they were down 34-22.
Yes,
and they never quit. That's what's impressive.
The only touchdown they gave up in the second half was a kickoff return for a touchdown.
Yeah,
so that's the defense really shut them out in the second half.
So what a game. I mean, very impressed. I did not have that score anywhere close. North Lincoln, my hats are off to you. Great job.
Yep. So that brings up next week what me and Smokes talking about. We got a little bet every year. North Lincoln versus Bessemer City. Loser has to wear the other one's jersey. Smokes 59 offensive line jersey is about 7 sizes smaller than my number 12 quarterback jersey. But the good news is I've lost some weight since last year. Well, since 2 years ago when I had to put it on there at the Apple Festival. One of us will be wearing the jersey. I guess. Oh, it will be at the Apple Festival.
Yeah.
We might have to show. We might have to figure out what we're going to do. We might have the show from over there too.
That would be perfect.
Terry won't have to go too far, and Tim McKinn's going to be over there all day, so that they can. They're going to be doing reports right thereafter. So we might work something out. We might be doing the show from the Apple Festival next Saturday morning, folks. You want to walk by and see us? just follow us on Facebook. We'll let you guys know and get it out. Totally, with the way football comes, and then you got Labor Day. We've got hurricanes around right now. It's hard to you kind of forget, what's coming up more than 7 days ahead, and that kind of snuck up on me. So we might plan to do that next week out there on the street. And maybe we can work out. We'll just eat our Mitchem's kitchen biscuits out there on the out there at the court square, Terry.
Yeah, and I want to do that's probably what Smoke's going to do. But if you're in the way of this hurricane and it's coming, y'all, I don't know. Right now, the United States, it gets pounded. They got pounded by Harvey, and now you got Irma out there, and you still got Jose on the backside. Still out there. I mean, right now it's difficult. And when it comes to football, I know Florida, they canceled all games. I mean, even school has canceled in the whole state of Florida, because of this thing coming.
And honestly, I think this is one of the only positives from Harvey is that people are preparing more than what they probably would have if Harvey never happened. So, prayers go out to everyone in Florida.
Oh, yes.
I do think Smoke's right about that. I do think there's probably more people evacuating and heading to the shelters after watching Harvey in person, because people forget so quickly. Katrina and other places. Anybody that's been hit by a hurricane knows that, you can't really play around with it. It's going to storm really bad for a couple of days, guys. And the ones, this thing right now is just ridiculous how bad and big it is. Just the fact, it's the whole state.
Yeah, the whole state.
It's the size of the whole state. And what they were saying, I was just watching one of the, about where it's coming in there in Florida, one of the predictions was from Saturday afternoon, about 4 o'clock until Sunday morning, about 10 o'clock, Terry, sustained 100-mile-per-hour winds. Not like, hey, it's going to gust. Folks, you feel a gust outside, you think it's windy, it's what, 30 miles per hour, Terry? That's like that times 3 or 4,
and it never stops.
And it's going for 12 hours. So, almost 12 hours. More than that, 16 hours.
And the thing that got me, and I know we're not talking about sports, but this is way more important than the games that we play.
Well, but, it may affect our schedule.
Yeah, it might.
We don't know which way it's going to turn, how much rain we're going to get. How long it's going to stay above us, because, Harvey sit there and churned over Houston for a couple of days.
But you also look it back, and it shows Andrew, and it shows how little Andrew was compared to Irma. Irma is so much bigger, and plus there was not as much population and people down there in Florida when all that happened back then. And now I just... my hands are off. There's whatever we can do.
All the people are in shelters, and the thing's covering the whole state. So
it is.
Where do they go?
That's it.
There's nowhere to go. So it's going to be tough. Hopefully the land breaks it up as quick as the land can break up the hurricane and turn it into a tropical storm as quick as it can. Because you can't have, the way Florida sits out over the water, you can't have it sitting there and just spinning on top of it like that. All right, guys. They kept, one real quick thing, they kept saying, if it goes straight up the Midland, it's actually, Terry, it's bad that way. But if it does that way, it's gonna slow it down more because of the land. But because if the eye stays out in the Gulf and then goes over Florida that way, Florida's still gonna get the winds, but then the eye's gonna hit the Tallahassee area, the Panama City Beach area at a full probably Category 5 too as well, because it's gonna get stronger right there. So it's in a bad situation. The way it's like somebody pushed it down the side and straight up Florida. Like there's a chute there. All right, guys, we got to take a break. Prayers to all those folks. Prayers to everyone dealing with anything like that and what's going on. And enjoy your weekend, folks. But keep an eye on what's coming up and the people affected and what's going on right now. And pray for people. If you take in animals, that's one of the things that I'm kind of for these a lot of people can handle themselves, but if you know somebody in Florida that's got an animal or a dog or something, call the shelters up here, call people up here, call your friends, your family, call somebody that can maybe. We got a lot of land up here, Terry. There's a lot of people I see on Facebook volunteering to have horses and other livestock, and
there you go.
They bring there's a bunch of doggy kennels up here with big old yards. There's a lot of fenced in area. If any of the shelters, anybody that's going to be down on the way, try just because you can't do something doesn't mean you can't be the connection to something. Like if I know Terry's got land and I got a friend down in Florida, I can say, hey guys, hey Terry, you mind if my buddy comes up here and brings something up? That kind of thing. Also, a quick reminder, we're inland, Terry. These people who's never been through Hugo, if it does come directly at us, do not stay in get in a shelter. Do not stay in a place that you shouldn't. Get out of the mobile homes and get off the road.
Especially flood-prone areas that has happened before.
And it does flood up here in our area and on the hills and in the foothills. So take it as seriously as you can, because the rain and everything that's gonna dump on us is gonna be tough to handle. All right, well, let's get out of here. We'll come right back. We're gonna finish up some high school scores, and then we'll talk a little baseball. And then the last half of the show is we're going to talk a lot of NFL and football. We got to talk about the new champion Cleveland Browns. This is going to be this year. They're undefeated in the preseason.
That's right. They'll win 4 games in regular season.
Yeah, we done beat the Bucks, and so we're on our way. And Zeke is free. We'll be right back on KTCBroadcasting.com.
The end of summer savings sale is underway at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Coming out for the largest savings of the year. I'm Calvin Hastings. I want to invite you to join the boss as we broadcast live this Saturday, September 9th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. We'll have free hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks, and register to win some great prizes, including tickets to this year's Renaissance Festival. And check out the great deals. Save up to $11,000 on selected 2016 Cadillacs. So plan now to be there this Saturday, September the 9th, for the end of summer savings sale event and our live radio remote broadcast at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC, located at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall.
It's big-time revelry at the Renaissance Festival. Saturdays and Sundays, October 1st through November 20th. Great family fun, adventure, and wackiness.
The Renaissance Festival is a great way to spend your day.
Jousting night. Men in tights. Hi.
The Renaissance Festival is crazy, unique, exotic, and smells delicious.
The Carolina Renaissance Festival is a medieval amusement park.
Shopping!
12 stages of music, comedy, and daredevil antics.
We love the Renaissance Festival.
Saturdays and Sundays, October 1st through November 20th. Discount tickets at Harris Teeter stores or print yours online at renfestinfo.com. Time traveling fun, presented by Pepsi.
Because it's just so much fun for everybody in the family. It doesn't matter what age you are.
Visit Lake Norman for amazing adventures, award-winning dining, and lots of outdoor fun. Visit Lake Norman, the lakeside of Charlotte.
It's time to come out and play at the newly renovated Lincoln Country Club. Since 1946, the Lincoln Country Club has been challenging golfers. Ask about special membership opportunities. Enjoy the new swimming pool, and the restaurant just can't be beat. Practice your driving on the driving range, too. For your tee time, call 704-735-1382 for the Lincoln Country Club, located on 2052 Country Club Road in Lincolnton, and online at lincolncountryclub.net.
For a limited time, Papa John's Pizza in Cherryville has some great kickoff specials. Right now, get any 5-topping or specialty pizza for just $11. But that's not all. Get a 2-topping extra large for just $11. Hurry, offer ends soon. Place your order by calling 704-802-4477. And don't forget, you can dine in, too, at Papa John's Pizza in Cherryville. Open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. till 11 p.m. Again, place your order at 704-802-4477.
And good morning. Welcome back. Mitchem's Kitchen Sports Talk, 704-276-1155, and enjoying his win last night. Right now on the phone is Cherryville coach Tim Pruitt. 29-28 victory over Drone. Big defensive stand there. Stopping the 2-point conversion, coach. So thanks for calling this morning.
Thank you, Kevin. Big play at the end of the game. Ben DeVinny actually playing a position he hadn't really played. We had an injury, and we needed to put somebody on the tight end. And 2-point conversion before, when I went back and watched film, they ran the same play. So he squeezed down and tackled the fullback. Big play for our defense, and I wish we hadn't been in that situation. Had a 2-touchdown, 16-point lead in the third quarter, and they fought back. we took the lead again, and then we was able to hold them off the end. So nice to have a win. It's amazing how a 1-point difference can make you feel on a morning between a win and a loss. So give credit to the Drone kids for fighting back, and give credit to our kids for being in position to win a football game like that. And hopefully that gives us confidence down the road.
Well, I'm guessing your speech and your thoughts to your team this week is going to be great play at the end, but we gave up a lot of points for them to come back, right? Defense.
We've been giving up points this year, and a good friend of mine used to say, "Boys, if we can score 4, we should win." And we scored 4 last night, and we had a 2-point conversion, which we usually run a couple times during the year when we see a certain scheme on a field goal block. And we was able to hit that play, and that put us up 2 scores in the first half, or into the beginning of the third quarter, and then scored again. Hanai Jordan made a great strip. We had 0 turnovers last night, except for turnovers on downs, and they had 3. So that was a big part of the game, too. So defensively, we're doing some things better, but still we got a few people still not back in positions, and we got people in new positions. We moved Jason Pitts back down to the D-line, and he had 15 tackles last night, and that was big for us. And we were without Andrew Bean, one of our inside linebackers, so we had Dave Shoemaker play in that position, though he's usually been a down person for us. So we're still just trying to get all the pieces together and hopefully get healthy this week and the open week and get ready for a good Thomas Jefferson team that is one of the teams that we feel like will compete for our conference along with us and Bessemer. And, Community School Davidson, I think, has got a pretty solid team this year. And, the new kids on the block, Union County Group and Union Academy, and then, of course, Mountain Island Charter. So it's a wide-open race, and whoever wants to get to work and correct mistakes. And, we always say, correct mistakes and don't like to lose. Have that mentality that we want to go out there and play hard all the way for 4 quarters. So, that last play was the most important play of the game, but there were a lot of plays in between that we still got to work on too.
Coach, you talk about real quick about your that conference. Every one of your conference right now has 2 wins right now, except for Davidson, and they've only been outscored 2 games by about 19 points. So you're right about that. It's looking a little bit tougher, and like a lot of teams look pretty solid right now.
Oh, definitely. Highland Tech picked up 2 wins early, and then they had the Chatham Central game. I think they were in the lead. And then last night, of course, they didn't play probably as well as they had been against Lincoln or against Lake Norman Charter. But I think our conference has gotten a little better. I think Pine Lake Prep's down just a little bit from looking at some things. But overall, I think our conference is really competitive, and we'll start to get ready. Us and Thomas Jefferson both have byes this week, so hopefully we can go ahead and get our trade done and get ready for them. And I think their quarterback was out last night, but he's a really special player, and Bill Way, a local kid who was known well in Cherryville and played with a lot of our kids growing up. So it's his senior year, so I know those guys will be prepared when they come to Cherryville in a couple of weeks.
Well, they won 41-13 last night. I don't know if you'd checked the scores yet. Terry, you got a question?
Yeah, I saw those scores, and I think they played a team out of Tennessee up near Johnson City, and we're excited. Hoping to have a blackout in a couple weeks and be in all black and get ready for that game, and hopefully our community will be behind us. Just like somebody said, "Hey, good game last night, Coach." I said, games like that will get more butts in the seats. So we're excited about where our football program's heading and what we can do here in the next 5-6 weeks as we get ready for the 3rd season. We divide into 3 seasons. The first season being 2-2, we feel like that's a great step in the right direction for our program. And then, of course, the 2nd season is our conference season, and then 3rd season, the playoff season. So we hopefully put ourselves in position to get into that race, and then hopefully can win a few games down the road.
Well, Coach, my question for you, number one, congratulations on your victory. But, when you come down to the end of a game and you're on the road, and they always say coaches that are on the road is going to go for 2 most of the time. It all depends on game situations, whether you got momentum or you feel like you cannot win in overtime. How do you look at end-of-game situations like that?
I just think each game's probably a little bit different. I mean, you look at your your kicking game, just like for drawing the first extra point, we just had 4 or 5 guys come through and block the kick. And I just don't think they had confidence in getting a field goal or an extra point in. And we had not stopped a single 2-point conversion the entire game. So for them, I think they were confident that they were going to make that play. They took a timeout, which I think settled us down just a little bit. And that was big, too, because then we were able to run the clock out afterwards. But, when they took that timeout, our kids come over and we just tried to get them settled down and understand, hey, they do a couple things. They're either going to run the Wildcat and run right at it, so they're going to get in the single back and they're going to run the option. So our kids really, we stepped up and made a play. But, I think each game's a little different. I've been in both situations where, go for 2 in the win and, hey, it's on the coach, or you go for 1 in the tie. But I think it's just a feel of the game. If we would have been in that situation, our game was a lot like our West Lincoln game, where they just kind of kept the ball away from us. And we kind of did that with West Lincoln. But then those turnovers that we had during the game really kind of flipped that game. And it did the same for us last night with them, with Jerome, because it gave us a couple more opportunities, just like to start the second half. We score. We make the 2. We got 2 scores, and then we get the ball in the fumble, and then we score again. So it just really changed it. So I think their coach, in terms of their planning and going for 2, was the right thing. And like I said, he went back to that bread and butter fullback, and we was able to put him on the ground. So each situation is a little bit different, Terry. So I've been in both and done both, and it's nice to have a kicker like Dawson Moore who's putting the ball through the pipes, and that 1 point always is good.
Well, Coach, thanks for giving us a call, and we hope you enjoy your weekend and your week off. And now I do got if you want, since you guys do have a week off, I don't know what your plans are. If you want to come in for any of our shows, pregame, postgame, or Saturday morning show, and join us, you're more than welcome. If you got some time, buddy, thanks for calling.
If I got some time, that's a little tough.
I know, right?
Yeah. So, man, I'd love to do that sometime. We're open. I'm not sure what my plans are going to be next weekend. Bless those people who are in the path of the hurricane. And, of course, we'll be in the path of it a little bit, but each time it looks like it's going further and further west. But we're going to hopefully get some practice in, and I look forward to sitting with you guys sometime. But with the kids and the wife, just like today, we got 2 birthday parties, and one of them is over near Winston-Salem, so we're going to go see the family and enjoy our time and enjoy kind of a free weekend. No coaches meeting tomorrow, so y'all, I appreciate what y'all do. Y'all do a great job. Enjoy listening to you and appreciate your support and what you do for high school athletics.
All right, thank you, Coach. Have a good weekend.
All right, you take care, guys. Thank you.
All right, Cherryville 29-28 victors last night. They moved to 2-2 on the season. Like we said, looking at that conference, Terry, it hasn't been many years you can look at it and see everyone with 2 wins. I mean, after 4 weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them have 2 wins, and Community School of Davison, like I said, is 1-2, and they've only been outscored by a total of 19 in those 2 games. It's not like they've been blown off the field.
Yeah, I know. And when I always look at them, I always look at defense. How many points you giving up? You got Bessemer City only 7. Thomas Jefferson only 45. I mean, Union Academy.
Yeah, Thomas Jefferson's 4 games, so that's 11 points a game.
That's it. I mean, Union Academy 60. That's 20 a game. I mean, so some of them's defenses are playing good, and I always fear if you're in high school and your defense holding people 20 or less, you can be in every game that you play.
Well, and Thomas Jefferson, I think is going to be tough because remember Cherryville beat Thomas Jefferson last year on the road. So the Griffons, I think, are going to be extra motivated for 2 weeks' time to try to get revenge against the Ironmen. So that should be a real interesting game in a couple of weeks once both teams get off their bye week.
Yeah, Bessemer City had a bye week this week. They'll be hosting North Lincoln for the Battle of KT. So we got to figure something out, Smoke, to call that one. Maybe Daddy can come up with something. He's creative on some of those things. Mountain Island, the Bessemer City will be hosting North Lincoln and Mountain Island Charter next 2 weeks, then at Highland Tech. Of course, they finish up at home against Cherryville, and we'll have that one on video. Next week's North Lincoln game will be on video as well. So we've got 2 Bessemer City games on video left this year, hosting North Lincoln next week and then Cherryville at the end of the year. Smoke, guys, we're looking real quick at the South Fork 2A standings now after a couple of weeks. Of course, these aren't conference standings. These are overall because we haven't played in conference. Maiden 4-0, Newton Conover 3-0, Lake Norman Charter 3-1, West Lincoln 2-1, Bandy's 2-1, North Lincoln 1-2, Lincoln 1-2, and East Lincoln still winless at 0-3. Looking at the offenses right now, Newton, Maiden, Lake Norman Charter, West Lincoln, and North Lincoln all have 100 points or more right now. And looking at the defenses, only Lincoln's give up 100. Now, Smoke, in the past 2 or 3 years, those numbers would not be associated with the this conference as it used to be. It was the Big 12 of our area. 40, 50 points a game both ways, right?
Yeah, well, I remember Lincolnton last year really struggled defensively. They were giving up a lot of points. But the only difference this year is their offense has struggled. Before last night, they only have scored 13 points. Of course, got 51. That have really helped their points forced total. But North Lincoln's almost already matched their total from last year in terms of offensive points scored. They had 163 last year. They already got 109. West Lincoln's gotten off to a hot start offensively. Newton, we always figure, even though they've struggled the last few years, they've always had some real good offensive teams. And Maiden, even without Caleb Farley, been doing a good job so far, scoring the ball. Have got the most points in the conference at 156.
And you're looking at that also, and I look at Lake Norman Charter. They gave up 85 points. Well, when you drop all the way down there to East Lincoln, they gave up 53. But what a difference! Lake Norman Charter 3-1, East Lincoln 0-3.
Yeah, and sometimes, Terry, and like we always say, it also matters who you play.
Oh, it does.
And how that goes. East Lincoln has started off with Forest View, Ashbrook, and North Gaston this week.
16 points total. I mean, for people down at East Lincoln, they're not used to that at all.
And this week they'll be hosting East Gaston. Is that right?
No, they'll be traveling to East Gaston.
Oh, at East Gaston. There's my little at symbol. I guess I can't read right this morning. Yes, at East Gaston this week. And we'll have that on KTC. Guys, this week on KTC Smoke, we got some work to do. We got 5 games on video.
That's the most we've had this year.
And Cherryville's not playing on radio, so we'll have some different games in the area across our board this week. East Lincoln at East Gaston, North Lincoln at Bessemer City, Stuart Kramer at Crest.
That's an interesting one.
Shelby at Kings Mountain.
Wait, no, it's Stuart Kramer's actually playing South Point this week.
Wait a minute, is that my wrong? Weddington at Crest. Sorry, we put the wrong one. Weddington at Crest.
That should be a real good one too. Weddington, defending state champions, and remember the last time those two teams faced, it went into double overtime in the third round of the playoffs. So I bet some Weddington people are wanting some revenge against the Chargers.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Weddington at Crest. Sorry about that. I got looking at the wrong sheet, or did my editor in the paper wasn't ready. Shelby and Kings Mountain, and then of course Hendersonville and Burns. We got a great lineup next week on KTC Broadcasting. You can watch all 5 of those games on YouTube. Just go to KTC Broadcasting like you are right now. If you're watching right now, hello. You see me in my Zeke jersey. I was wearing it this morning because they freed him. I got to take it off, and I got to wear my this Bessemer City jersey. I'm sitting in my chair the rest of the week. It's North Lincoln Bessemer City week, guys, and I was really pumped. 3-0, only give up 7 points on the year, and here y'all go. Score 30, almost beat Alexander Central. So I'm hoping Alexander Central had like 13 players suspended. You know how that goes sometimes, Smoke, right? And but it's
I'm still waiting.
I'm worried now, Terry.
Well, I'm waiting on you today to get one of them Manziel jerseys from
Cleveland. I'm getting a Kaiser with the Z jersey.
I mean, you could have got one of them for $2.
That is a good point. I do. Money wise, I probably should just buy one like that, a Manziel or a Tim Couch jersey, or one of the other 20 starting quarterbacks that they've had.
Derek Anderson.
Derek Anderson would be a popular jersey around here. Y'all going to put up a Derek Anderson statue before long, the way Panthers fans talk about Derek Anderson over the years.
I'm not one of them.
You can put up a statue right next to one of Jerry's 2 statues. Speaking of that, Terry, real quick, how many statues does Jerry Jones have?
You said 2.
No, Jerry Jones.
Oh, Jerry Jones?
None. How many statues does Jerry Richardson have? He's got 2.
Yeah.
And people say things about Jerry Jones and how well he thinks. All right, let's finish up the scores for the day, and then we're going to move on to other things, as we had a great night last night on Cherryville, here in Cherryville at the studios. I want to thank everybody last night here in the studios, Dennis Davis and Carson Dockery, Shannon Allen, let's see, Steve Robay. By the way, if any of y'all sent me any texts or stuff, if someone got any questions or something, my phone is at home, so I can't respond or give you shout outs right now. You had to contact us on the Twitter or send Terry a mean text. Is that a South Carolina football?
That's a Charlotte Catholic.
Okay.
Yeah.
From this side, I saw the CA. I was like, dang, Terry, you just done switched after state loss.
Yeah. He jumped on the bandwagon since West lost.
All right, y'all give the scores, and I'm gonna give the updated top 10.
All right, it was Ashbrook defeating Forest View 40-26. Burns picks up her first victory of the year with 31-23 win over at then undefeated East Rutherford. It was Cherryville stopping a 2-point conversion with 1 minute and 10 seconds to defeat Drone 29-28. South Point goes to 4-0 on the year with a 28-0 win over Clover, South Carolina. Lincoln picks up win number 1 with a 51-12 win over East Gaston.
North Gaston picks up their first win of the year as they beat East Lincoln 28-7. Hickory stuns Hunter Huss after the Huskies led 19-0 as the Tornadoes win 28-27. Kings Mountain comes back and beats Cuthbertson 27-17. And North Lincoln loses a close one at Alexander Central 40-36. And Fred T. Ford wins the Battle of Hog Hill 22-20 over the West Lincoln Rebels.
The number 1 2A team in the state of North Carolina, Shelby, defeats Crest 21-14, running their record of winning streak up to 25, which is number 1 in the state of North Carolina. Lake Norman Charter over Highland Tech 36-7. North Surrey goes to 4-0 on the year with a 43-7 win over Community School of Davison. Cannon no trouble with Pine Lake Prep 49-0, and Chase picks up their first win with a 27-21 win over East Henderson.
The Griffons of Thomas Jefferson stay undefeated as they beat Trinity Academy 41-13. Union Academy and Northside Christian Academy has been moved back to September 15th. Newton Conover beats East Burke and stay undefeated as they win 44-6. And High Brighton stays undefeated, beating South Caldwell 48-0. As a battle of undefeateds next week as the Red Devils of Newton Conover take on High Brighton. Freedom beats Patton in the Battle of Motown 31-14 as Freedom has won 3 straight after losing to Shelby in the start of the season.
Statesville defeats West Iredale 37-10. Watauga goes to 4-0 with a 50-26 win over Wilkes Central. West Caldwell 54, Ashe County 40. Mitchell 49, McDowell 19, and Maiden over St. Stephen's 28-7.
Pisgah beats RS Central 49-14. Bandy's beats Bunker Hill 33-7, and for the first time since 2011, a 55-game losing streak snapped for Garinger. They beat Monroe Central Academy 42-0. So congrats to Garinger. The open teams this week: Bessemer City at 3-0, Mountain Island Charter at 2-1, and the Stuart Kramer Storm also at 3-0. As we'll probably have some more bye weeks in the coming weeks, and by the time conference rolls around, we should be good to go.
Let's see. We've did all of the other standings real quick. In the so it's the 2A South, the Southwestern 2A standings. South Point and Shelby right now are both 4-0. East Rutherford 3-1. Chase, East Gaston, and RS Central 1-3 in that conference.
And look at that conference. And when you talk about defense wins championships, what a difference! You get South Point 20, Shelby 36, East Rutherford 54.
They're all three. They're combined 11-1.
And then you drop down to East Rutherford. I mean, not East Rutherford, but Chase 108, East Gaston 155, and RS Central 162
in 4 games. So that's 40 points a game.
That's not good.
No, Shelby, of course, and South Point, the favorites in that conference. It's going to come down to the last week of the season there, Terry. Let's see, where's that game at? Do you know?
It's at South Point.
Okay, at South Point. So there you go.
And of course, I think South Point.
We will not have that game on the radio. I think that game may be on TV, Terry, and maybe even Thursday.
It is on Thursday, and South Point's wanting revenge. That was the first time they've been shut out last year since 1998.
We'll have pictures and tweets and the radio coverage from that game, but we will not have video coverage of that game. As like Smoke said, it'll be on television. But if you don't have that television network, you can't watch the game anyway. All right, real quick, the other conference. Why can I not click on? Oh, I am on Kings Mountain. There we go. Kings Mountain last night moved to 3-0, as they are in their conference, the Big South 3A. Kings Mountain and Stuart Kramer are both 3-0 right now overall. Huss and Ashbrook are 2-2 overall. North Gaston, Crest, and Burns at 1-2. Forest View 1-3. But we've already had one conference game. Ashbrook last night defeated Forest View 40-26, and that just caught me off guard just talking to Jeff that was a conference game last night. Look at the right now Forest View in the conference right now in last place 1-3. They're number 17 in our poll this week and 129 points, Terry. That's a lot of that's not Forest View like, right?
No, it's not. And when you're looking at this conference of Big South, I mean, is it a Stuart Kramer Kings Mountain battle, or I mean, you still got Crest in there, and you got Burns, and you know they're going to be.
Huss almost beat Shelby last year.
Yeah, knocking on people, and then like I said, you got Huss, but last night was very surprising because Huss jumped out 19-0, then loses to Hickory, and very surprised at that.
Well, and I'm not going to take what Crest does in non-conference stats seriously because in their non-conference schedule, the 4 games, they're going against 3 defending state champions.
Yeah,
that is extremely tough,
all?
and they've hung in with them. So I'm thinking it's going to be. This is just going to be such a fun conference to watch.
I thought about that. That is tough.
That is extremely tough. We've been talking about
Crest is battle tested, and their defense. You know, last night, Terry, they've given up 57 points in this conference, or in 3 games so far. But their defense last night made a lot of plays, and just talking about it. It just seems like the offense needs to catch up to the defense, right?
Yeah, and they went through this last year, and a lot of people sat back and said, okay, then when we play somebody they can score, but your defense is keeping you in every game. I mean, like I said, 48 points in 3 games.
3 inside the 10-yard line stands and 2 safeties last night.
Yeah.
So the defense, I mean, they were there. They showed up. They did what they could do. But, Shelby with the big win last night, 21-14. All right, it's almost time for take a break, so get ready, JP. But real quick, let's go over our top 10, our power poll this week. It came out yesterday in What's Up Shopper. That one's already old as the game switched to the games last night we had, so we got to go back over that. So the new one, and follow every week on KTC. We'll have the new ones out. Usually on Monday, but this week we had to wait till Wednesday because of the rain. The games that were played on Monday, and we had the paper come out on Tuesday, or we had to do the paper on Tuesday, so that the poll got pushed back to Wednesday. But usually they come out on Monday, so pay attention Monday on KTC Broadcasting, Facebook and Twitter feed. We'll get these out. All right, outside the top 10 this week: Cherryville 11, Crest 12, North Lincoln 13. North Gaston 14, Burns 15, Lincoln 16. They get out of the cellar. Forest View 17, and then if you go east, is 18-19. East Gaston and East Lincoln right now at 18-19. East Lincoln's only give up 53 points. If they'd win a game, they would be up above Forest View and East Gaston. But right now at 0-3, they are not. The way this poll works, rankings are not. Robert P. are not anyone's opinions. There's no judges anywhere. There's no asking anybody any questions. What do you think or anything? There's no thinking. There's no dumb people thinking. There's no East Russian judges. There's nothing like that, right? There's no boxing guys over here giving points and whoever wins.
We all joined the KISS group. Keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it simple. So it's standings and defense. We like to talk about that a lot. So it's your record. And then how many points you've given up, and then point spread if we have another tiebreaker, if you get guys, if the 2 teams are tied after that. All right, so the top 10 now, the new top 10 on KTC Broadcasting. Ashbrook, with a big win over Forest View last night, moves number 10. They've given up 99 points at 2-2. Huss at 2-2 has given up 90 points, so they're at number 9. Gaston County, that part of Gaston County keeps representing Gastonia. 8, 9, and 10 as Highland Tech is number 8 now. They're still in the top 10 smoke, holding on as hard as they can. They were up to number 2 after the first 2 weeks. Now they've lost 2 straight, Terry, but no one else has jumped them. After they've lost 2 straight, they're still in the top 10 now after 8 games at 79 points given up. Now the West Lincoln Rebels in the paper, they're at number 5. And they fall after a loss last night, 2-point loss last night, Terry, to Fred T. Ford, and they lose a little trophy, right?
That's it.
Tell about that little trophy.
Well, it's a trophy. I mean, it's got a football on top of it. I mean, it's a nice trophy to have around it, but Fred T. Ford to be able to keep that for another year.
It's a nice trophy to have around.
I mean,
that's a funny way to describe that. West Lincoln now is at 7th. If they had pulled that game out, Terry, And how many points did they give up? 48. They would be still in 7th. So they would have been win or lose. They were into the 7th spot last night, giving up that many points. So West Lincoln stays at number 7. Now, moving up to number 6 from 7 is Kings Mountain. They're 3-0, and they've given up 44 points in 3 games. At number 5, dropping back from number 4 is Stuart Kramer. They didn't play last night, and they dropped back a spot. At 3-0, they've given up 38 points on the season. Newton Conover does play tonight. They moved from 6 to 4 up in the standings. They're 3-0 right now, give up 32 points.
And with their win over Hickory earlier this week, they just got over the 400 win mark. So
who do they have this week?
They played Hickory at the start of this week, which was their 400th win, and then they beat East Berks for their 401st win. So we've seen 2 teams already in the area get to 400 wins this year.
So who do they have next?
High Brighton.
Okay.
That should be a real interesting one.
Newton Conover, High Brighton next week. All right, top 3. Well, and Bessemer City falls out of the top spot for the first time in the first couple, in the last 2 weeks, or after actually first 3 weeks. So if they're in the paper, they're number 1 right now in the paper, and they fall back because they didn't even play. They've only given up 7 points on the season. They're at 3-0 at number 3. 2 teams that did play last night, they'll move up in the 1 and 2 spots as they improve to 4-0. The Shelby Golden Lions move up from 3 to 2. They've given up 36 points. And those South Point Red Raiders have only given up 20 points in 4 games. So South Point giving up 5 points a game. Shelby giving up 9 points a game. Bessemer City giving up 2.3 points a game. Newton Conover giving up about 7 points a game. Stuart Kramer giving up 12.7 points a game. And Kings Mountain giving up 14.7 points a game. So your undefeated teams right now are giving up 5, 9, 2, 10, 12, and 14 a game. So defense, Terry, we talk about how many points they scored in their offenses, but those are the main reasons, aren't they, that these teams are undefeated?
I agree. Every year, defense is going to win championships, and that's what we go by.
We got 6 undefeated teams. 3, 6, 9, 12, 16. They're 20-0, and they've give up a total of 150, 63, 65, 73, 175 points between them.
That's just a little bit more than our Central's given up this year.
Yep. So in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, they've give up 175. For example, Smoke, you said RS Central. East Gaston this year's give up 155 in 4 games. So in 20 games total, those 6 teams giving up 175. East Gaston 155. So 2 totally different ends of the spectrum there. East Gaston 1 and 3. Those teams are 20-0. Defense wins championships as usual. That's the theme. All right, JP, let's get out of here. We've got to take another break. Get back. Talk a little baseball, a little basketball, a little NFL, a lot of NFL, a little NASCAR, a lot of NASCAR to talk about, all kinds of things. We'll be right back on KTC.
The end of summer savings sale is underway at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Coming out for the largest savings of the year. Hi, I'm Calvin Hastings. I want to invite you to join the Vols as we broadcast live this Saturday, September 9th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. We'll have free hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks, and register to win some great prizes, including tickets to this year's Renaissance Festival. And check out the great deals. Save up to $11,000 on selected 2016 Cadillacs. So plan now to be there this Saturday, September the 9th, for the end of summer savings sale event and our live radio remote broadcast at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC, located at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall.
I'm Lon Helton, inviting you to join me as I count down the week's top 30 with Dustin Lynch, who's on the road right now with the practical joker, Brad Paisley.
Every single show, I get a little fatter, a little balder, and I'm wearing less clothes on screen. It's not looking good for me.
That's Dustin Lynch this week on Country Countdown USA.
Country Countdown USA with Lon Hilton, Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Big O Country, 1590 AM WCSL, and online at kdcbroadcasting.com. The RVer's most trusted resource for over 50 years. That's Campers Inn. Family owned and operated since 1966. And this area's dealer is Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Campers Inn is the nation's largest family operated RV dealership, 16 locations up and down the East Coast. from motorhomes to travel trailers and more from the industry's leading manufacturers, plus award-winning RV sales and service. See hundreds of RVs at the best prices, plus they have certified and trained service personnel and a professional staff with years of RV knowledge. Campers Inn, Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. Tell them Calvin sent you in to the Campers Inn.
Is the cost of ink driving your profits down? Then listen up. Discount Ink Jet and Toner is here to help. Discount Ink Jet and Toner specializes in refilling ink jet and toner cartridges. Cut your ink costs by as much as 50% or more. Discount Ink Jet and Toner, located on 410 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. 100% satisfaction guaranteed.
It's Rib Night Friday and Saturday nights at the Parkway House in Cherryville. Get a half rack of twin-sided ribs for just $9.95. Get a full rack of twin-sided ribs for just $13.95. And remember the Parkway House in Cherryville for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. Again, it's Rib Night Friday and Saturday nights at the Parkway House, Highway 150 East in Cherryville.
Daddy tells religiously. David Nick said Panthers will go 11-5. Ain't that right, Smoke? Panthers 11-5 this year. They added the second best running back in the draft, a 37-year-old Julius Peppers, and a 30-year-old safety. And that's the reason, the exact words from David Newton's mouth, that's the reason they're going to go 11-5. We're going to talk about that later. I want you to stew about that. It's college football time. Since we was talking a little high school a minute ago. We got the game picked out, Terry. Saturday, November 18th. The Tar Heels host Western Carolina. I am definitely, if that game is not too far past 10, if it's at least 1 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we're gonna be going to that game to watch Chaz score about 17 touchdowns on the Western Carolina Wildcats.
Oh no, the Western Carolina will put my good friend Chase Stelling on defense for one snap, and he'll stack Chaz for another time like old times.
Well, and last week, I don't know if a lot of people probably did, because I know there are a lot of Tar Heel fans around. But Chaz looked very good last week against California. Just not enough time. But, Carolina, you play Louisville today. The opportunity of you winning it, to me, is not good. Louisville's pretty good. So you could be 0-2 already starting this season. And, at least State has Marshall. If we lose to Marshall, then we know it's going to be a bad year. But I think State's going to rebound. Last week against South Carolina, they got behind and never could get caught up. So,
and what makes the loss for Carolina against Cal even worse is the kickoff was at freaking noon. You're going against a West Coast team. You have a kickoff at noon.
Yeah.
That game would have been at 9 o'clock if it was in California, and you still lose the game. I mean, that is just awful. You already have home field advantage. You're starting the game at noon. They're probably still trying to get awake a little bit, and you still can't beat them. This is a team that had a bad defense last year.
I don't understand what he's doing. Chaz didn't score, those 4 touchdowns, but the offense when he was out there scored 27 points. The offense when the other guy was out there scored 3 points and had 2 picks. So, and now he's saying, I don't know who the quarterback is. He flew a helicopter in to watch Chaz Surratt play. The other guy's just transferring in, and he's not playing well, and everyone in the state knows who Chaz Surratt is. Everyone wants Chaz Surratt playing for the Tar Heels, and 27 points to 3. I know Fedora's reason is going to be like, well, they played with different running backs, and the kid that played with Chaz was running wild, and he was. But dang, 27 points to 3 and no turnovers is a big difference.
Well, and I think the only reason Brandon Harris is still getting these shots is because he wants people that may be thinking of transferring to Carolina saying, hey, at least he's going to give me a shot, even though that Brandon Harris is definitely not the better player. I don't agree with it. You put your best players out there every week, but that's what he's going to do. I mean, and plus Carolina, I'm not expecting them to make a bowl game this year. No. So might as well give Chaz the starting job already so we can go ahead and go through his growing pains, because I don't think he'll play as well as he did last week every week, because he's got to get adjusted to the college game. And California was an awful defensive team last year. So, I mean, you just go ahead and put Chaz in.
Yeah, it just, we were talking a little bit last night, Smoke. The only reason I can really come up with is that he wants to give his seniors he don't want to throw a freshman out there with the seniors maybe, and this Harris kid's a senior. Look, let me throw some experience out there with you guys, give you guys a chance to win that way. But I would guess after this week, if Chaz plays good today, there's no way he's going to be able to. If they give them a run at Louisville, as long as Chaz is out there doing good, I hope Harris plays well. As a Tar Heel fan, you want him to. You don't want one to play bad, another play, But as of last week, you got to say, the way the offense. Yes, Chaz needs to work on some throwing and stuff, and I think a lot of that too is that Fedora didn't want. They didn't call that many plays where they could. He's got a cannon. He can throw it. They didn't try going deep that much. His best pass in high school was the skinny post and the curl to Sage, and they didn't run any of that. That skinny post, I don't know how many people he destroyed with that. That left-handed throw it right up the seam off that, and they're tight ends. I think if they could figure out how to use Chaz in that the tight end seam, maybe Terry, maybe that'll make Fedora feel better. But he's got I don't know. Maybe he's scared of his job or something. I don't know. He's coaching scared, not like he's trying to win. What do you think?
Well, when I watched the game, I kind of sat back, and I know we keep hyping Chaz. Well, what kind of bias? I mean, that's who we want to see.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're in North Carolina.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The kid scored 27. They're scored 3. Terry's a State fan, so I don't know what he's going to say about it. But as a Carolina fan, all of that adds up to play the kid, not this scrub who just threw 2 picks from Louisiana.
Yeah, but I mean, no matter who he puts out
that's just
there.
Me being a fan. Okay.
Last week, no matter who he puts out there, they did lead the game 17-7. I mean, and then their defense. There you go. That's what I was getting ready to say. It's not going to be what quarterback's out there. If your defense cannot stop anybody, then you're going to lose anyway, no matter who's behind, running the system for you.
All I said was I remember watching a game with a couple of guys who went to East a while back, and he gets that third down play where he scrambles and then finds someone wide open and gets the first down. I'm like, all right, guys, I've seen this movie way too many times. It's bringing back bad memories.
I tell you what, Terry, I got something that'll solve all this. If Fedora don't want to play Chaz, wants to play Harris, let Harris play, and then just put Chaz at safety. How about that? Because he can play safety or defensive end or whatever else they want him to play. Somebody ain't playing defense over there. Let Chaz do it. Good gosh. They play Louisville today at noon. We gave some tickets away last night to Coach Pruitt and Will Boykins at Ronaldo. I guess he's not eating hot dogs today at Ronaldo, is he? He took the Tar Heel tickets. Sorry, boss, I'm not coming to work today. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but good luck to them. As a good night, should be a good game. I mean, I tell you what, if it was also fun watching. I'm not a college football fan that much to watch, and this kind of got me excited. I haven't been watching. You used to watch every Tar Heel game. I went to App. And it kind of changed where, I'm more of an app football fan now than I am Carolina. And I hadn't really had that many reasons over the years. Every now and then watch some. I pull from hope they win or whatever. But this makes it different knowing Chaz and the family and the East Lincoln and stuff like that. And it was just interesting watching a college football show and they were talking about Chaz. Now, one of the guys on there was a moron and didn't know what he was talking about. I can't remember his name. But
the halftime show?
No. It was a show like during the week, like the day after, because I wanted to see if they talked about it, and they did a little bit, and it's just interesting, fun to see them talking about his name on TV. I guess maybe Roseburg. It's kind of hard to get mentioned on defense, hitting Terry, unless you're during the game and do something big and the scouts start talking about you until they start talking about that.
They're so deep at defensive line at NC State, but I mean, Darian Roseburg has gotten some recognition. He was a bench player, and rotation. They rotate the defensive line a lot, and he got a 7.5 sacks last year. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah, as a rotational player, that is really good.
Well, I mean, if 7.5 sacks over 4 years, it puts him at 28. I think the Tar Heels' all-time record last night was like 32 or 35 or something like that sacks. So I mean, that's not bad for Mr. Roseburg. They'll meet up Saturday, November 25th at NC State, and like I said, none of these games the times aren't out except for there's 2 away games at times, right? The rest of them are to be determined. So that's
what I hate about college football.
And we've got tickets. We've got tickets for the Tar Heels games this year. I want to maybe go see Chaz. The Notre Dame game would be fun for Smoke to watch. He's a Notre Dame, one of Smoke's 17. Actually, Carolina plays all of Smoke's teams this year, Terry.
How about that?
Look at that. Woo! Carolina plays all of Smoke's teams this year. So what are you going to do when Chaz goes 3-0 against your team?
You mean 0-3?
Smoke, what are you going to do when Chaz goes 3-0 against all your teams, we can get you a. Is that the best? We're gonna have to, instead of the Bessemer 12 jersey, you're gonna be wearing a East Lincoln 12 jersey or a Tar Heel 12 jersey by the end of this year.
Well, you know, me looking at this schedule, you just got through getting defeated by Cal, and that's a game I thought you would win. Then you got Louisville. Then you got Old Dominion.
Terry,
You can win this.
All right, let's go back up on this game against Cal. Okay, so Chaz scored 27 in half the game. So if you leave him in there, he scores 54 and they win by 19. What are we talking about here? That scrub Harris was slowing up the whole offense for 3 quarters, and Chaz scores 27. Come on, he scores more than 5 if he's in there.
Chaz can be in there and score as much as he wants, but if your defense never stops nobody.
Well, I told you, he plays safety too.
I mean, Carolina, don't get me wrong. I'm looking at their start, and you're probably looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 5.
They're going to beat Old Dominion.
Yeah, they'll be. That's what I said.
They might beat Duke. The defense ain't going to stop Georgia Tech.
Now you understand.
No.
Don't forget, Fedora has a hard time beating his rivals.
That's right. Now, after 5 games, Chaz will be warmed up then, just in time to smoke Smoke's team. I bet you're going to be so nervous that day. Oh, it's going to be so. You got what, JP? What you doing? You got a collar? You stretching? Okay, I thought you was waving at me. Okay, I got you now. Now he sends me some signals. Okay, Virginia at home, at Virginia Tech, home against Miami Hurricanes. Then 8 o'clock game. I wish that was in Chapel Hill. We'd definitely go ahead and plan for that, but it's in Pittsburgh. And then Saturday, November 18th, Western Carolina comes to Chapel Hill.
Yeah, but speaking of Western, I'm gonna kind of get on my soapbox here. You know, I waited until 11:55 on Saturday night to watch Western Carolina play Hawaii and see if they would pull off the upset. And then I get a stupid tweet from the Hawaii football team saying their stream isn't going to work. So I wait till 11:55 at night. 12 o'clock was when the game started. I was already getting planned out. And I told my parents if Western wins at 3 o'clock, they're going to go crazy. And then that happens, and I was just so mad that I had to go to bed.
You know what you should have done, Smoke?
Oh, God.
You know what you should have done, Smoke?
A letter to the editor.
No, you know what you should have done? They sell tickets to these games, and you can purchase them. And you've got 5 jobs now. I'm sure you can afford to buy 1 ticket, right?
Oh yeah. I was jokingly telling my grandma. I wish
grandma buy me a plane ticket.
Well, no. The thing was, I jokingly told my grandma 2 days before, like, I wish I could have gone to that Hawaii Western games. Like, why didn't you tell me earlier?
Yeah, I know.
I was like, yeah, now you say that.
All right, Terry. I got one more note. College football. We'll talk about paying the players and stuff, right?
Here we go.
Have you seen this Maryland thing? Have you seen this Maryland thing? Please tell me you saw the Maryland thing.
Go ahead.
If a player from Maryland returns a kickoff, a student, not the student who ran the football into the end zone, but a student at the game will win $10,000. That is the craziest thing I've ever heard in the history of the world. We can't pay the students. They're making $200,000 a kid in the first weekend. Who was it the play of the last weekend? Alabama made $200,000 a starter that they could have paid the kids, and then they turn around and if one of their players runs a touchdown, he's practiced all these months and years of his life, and he runs a touchdown. They're going to give $10,000, but not to him. Smoke sitting up in the stands, pulling for with his Western, Notre Dame, and Duke shirt on all at once.
Yep.
Tell me that's not the most ridiculous thing ever, Terry. You know it is, and I can't believe that they approve. That's more ridiculous than Carolina's fake classes.
I'm just going to keep my opinions to myself. How's that?
All right. Do you all got any more comments on college football before we get out here? Smoke, today's schedule. We've got. I'll pull up the schedule real quick. Go over some of that.
Well, unfortunately, we meant to say DeAndre Francois out for the year. That's a big blow to Florida State.
That's true, too. At 12 o'clock today, Louisville at North Carolina. We got that on KTC. Then at 7 o'clock tonight, we got Clemson and Auburn on KTC.
That's a real good one.
Yes.
We also have a race today on KTC, Smoke, right?
Yeah, on WCSL, we'll have the Federated Auto Parts 400 at Richmond, the last race before the playoffs, and got quite a few big-name drivers that could be missing the playoffs, most notably Joey Logano.
All right, guys, we got to take a break. Let me go down the schedule for the day. Get ready, JP. UNC Charlotte at number 19 Kansas State, Cincinnati at number 8 Michigan, FAU at number 9 Wisconsin, and number 17 Louisville at North Carolina, all at noon o'clock today. Delaware at number 18 Virginia Tech at 3:30. 3:30 Fresno. Alabama playing a tough game today. Is that Fresno or Fresno State?
Fresno State.
Fresno State, tough game, Alabama. Way to schedule tough teams and talk about how good you are. That's just pathetic. Pittsburgh at Penn State. Penn State number 4 now.
That should be a pretty interesting one.
Yeah, and Alabama just got through thumping Florida State.
Well, that's fine, Terry. Play a real team the next week.
God.
Play a real team. They won't even play Carolina or State. They're playing Fresno State, Terry.
Okay.
And they're going to put in an application to enter the playoffs.
Well, kudos to Ohio State then.
Ridiculous. TCU at Arkansas, number 23. Instagram at Tennessee. What is that?
Indiana State. That's Larry Bird.
That's a They're playing a basketball. How is Larry Bird going to beat the Tennessee football team?
He's Larry Bird.
Auburn at Clemson, 7 o'clock, 13-3. Chattanooga at LSU at 7:30. UGA goes into Notre Dame today.
First time ever.
At 7:30. That's crazy. Oklahoma and Ohio State. A lot of O's up there in Ohio for Tommy Centofonte. A lot of red, too. Good God, it's going to be red and O's up there. It's just nuts. Montana at Washington, number 7. And Stanford at USC, 14 at 16. Boise State at Washington State, number 20 for Boise State. And finals so far, Oklahoma State beats the United States of America 44-7. And USF Connecticut canceled. I don't know who that is.
Miami, Florida.
At Florida canceled. Florida State canceled. And Miami canceled. All right, guys, we got to take a break. We'll be right back on KTC Broadcast.
The end of summer savings sale is underway at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Coming out for the largest savings of the year. Hi, I'm Calvin Hastings. I want to invite you to join the boss as we broadcast live this Saturday, September 9th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. We'll have free hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks, and register to win some great prizes, including tickets to this year's Renaissance Festival. And check out the great deals. Save up to $11,000 on selected 2016 Cadillacs. So plan now to be there this Saturday, September the 9th, for the end of summer savings sale event and our live radio remote broadcast at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC, located at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall.
I'm Lon Helton, inviting you to join me as I count down the week's top 30 with Dustin Lynch, who's on the road right now with the practical joker, Brad Paisley.
Every single show, I get a little fatter, a little balder, and I'm wearing less clothes on screen. It's not looking good for me.
That's Dustin Lynch this week on Country Countdown USA.
Country Countdown USA with Lon Helton, Wednesday afternoons, 1 o'clock on Big O Country, 1590 AM WCSL, and online at kdcbroadcasting.com.
Lincoln Idol is back again this year. Do you have what it takes? Come join other singers from Lincoln and surrounding counties for a chance to win thousands in cash and prizes. Auditions are September 12th, 13th, and 14th, with live competition September 23rd and 24th. Contestant entry fee is $40. For more information and to register, go to artslincolnnc.org. That's artslincolnnc.org. Or call 704-732-9044. You could be the next Lincoln Idol.
Is the cost of ink driving your profits down? Then listen up. Discount Ink Jet and Toner is here to help. Discount Ink Jet and Toner specializes in refilling ink jet and toner cartridges. Cut your ink costs by as much as 50% or more. Discount Ink Jet and Toner, located on 410 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. 100% satisfaction guaranteed.
It's Rib Night Friday and Saturday nights at the Parkway House in Cherryville. Get a half rack of twin-sided ribs for just $9.95. Get a full rack of twin-sided ribs for just $13.95. And remember the Parkway House in Cherryville for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. Again, it's Rib Night Friday and Saturday nights at the Parkway House, Highway 150 East in Cherryville.
The end of summer savings sale is underway at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Coming out for the largest savings of the year. Hi, I'm Calvin Hastings. I want to invite you to join the Vols as we broadcast live this Saturday, September 9th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. We'll have free hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks, and register to win some great prizes, including tickets to this year's Renaissance Festival. And check out the great deals. Save up to $11,000 on selected 2016 Cadillacs. So plan now to be there this Saturday, September the 9th, for the end of summer savings sale event and our live radio remote broadcast at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC, located at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall. The Cleveland County Fair returns September 28th through October 8th. It's Cleveland County's biggest annual event. Plan now to bring the family to the 93rd Cleveland County Fair. Entertainment includes the Cervini Family Circus, Extreme Illusions and Escapes, Act Monsters, Chainsaw Art, Boomer and his farm delivery truck. Plus, enjoy the sounds of Blend with hits from the 50s and 60s, along with country and gospel. Plus, Demolition Derby on the grandstand. Plan now to be there September 28th through October 8th. The 93rd Annual Cleveland County Fair. Online at clevelandcountyfair.com.
This one last chance to race for a championship.
The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series.
The intensity builds to a higher level.
NASCAR's regular season comes to a close.
Chase Elliott got shoved way up out of the group.
And the playoff field is finalized.
Junior flexing some major league muscle in the outside lane.
The Federated Auto Parts 400.
He drives around Denny Hamlin.
Saturday at 6:30 on the Motor Racing Network.
Federated Auto Parts 400 from Richmond, Virginia. Saturday, September 9th at 6:30 on Big O Country, 1590 AM WCSL, and online at kdcbroadcasting.com. The RVer's most trusted resource for over 50 years. That's Campers Inn. Family owned and operated since 1966, and this area's dealer is Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Campers Inn is the nation's largest family-operated RV dealership, 16 locations up and down the East Coast. From motorhomes to travel trailers and more, from the industry's leading manufacturers, plus award-winning RV sales and service. See hundreds of RVs for the best prices, plus you have certified and trained service personnel and a professional staff with years of RV knowledge. Campers Inn, Highway 161 South and I-85 in Kings Mountain. Tell them Calvin sent you in to the Campers Inn.
It's time to tee it up at the Deerbrook Golf Club on Highway 180 North in Shelby. It's the friendly club and open to the public every day. Play and ride 18 holes Monday through Friday for $32. After 2 p.m., just $27. Weekends, play and ride 18 holes for $44 and $39 between 12 and 2 p.m. and $34 after 2 p.m. Seniors, play and ride Monday through Friday for $27. The Deerbrook Golf Club, Highway 180 North of Shelby.
Welcome, NFL Saturday. What you laughing at, Smoke? Terry?
Terry's reaction, yeah.
We're pumped. I'm pumped. You pumped, Terry? Time to watch some real football,
That's
real
it.
TV. Not watch the
16-0 Cowboys.
Not watch the biology major in the third row win $10,000 when some kid runs a touchdown back. These guys win millions when they run a touchdown back. Already had a game. The Patriots fall. Patriots fans asking for Garoppolo. Get rid of Brady already. Throw him to the Wolves. He's done. Stick a fork in him. Not that Kansas City had, 7 months to prepare for this.
Yeah.
Not that Alex Smith had his best game in almost 5 years.
Not that Tom Brady had
Not
4
that
of his
game.
wide receivers out.
Yeah, and not that their defense gave up
got hurt.
bombs, over the middle.
Not that Kareem Hunt had an amazing debut for running back.
Yeah, tough night. We've seen it before. You ain't going 16-0 in New England or maybe ever, but they lost. And I got Gronk on my fantasy team, and of course he dropped a touchdown. So that's the most important thing is that Gronk dropped the touch.
Well, and if he would have caught that touchdown, I think the Patriots probably would have won that game because they would have been up 14-0, not even halfway through the first quarter.
Yeah. tomorrow's matchups. We're going to go through them real quick in the odds and everything else. And we've got the Jets at Buffalo.
Oh, God.
Buffalo is favored by 6.5 points.
I feel sorry for anyone who's watching that game tomorrow. That is going to be awful.
Atlanta being Chicago.
The winner of that game is in first place
in the AFC East. Because Miami's not playing this week.
Watch the Jets win.
And New England
If
is
the
behind.
Jets win that game, they're going to be in first place, and they may be number one in the What's Up Shopper Power Poll next week.
Wait a minute.
You already eliminated them.
I know. I already kicked them out.
This could be the year that Buffalo wins that division.
It could be. It could be. Terry's been picking them now since 1993 after the 4 straight.
After OJ left.
Yeah.
Well, it was like 2 years ago. We picked the Bills and the Buccaneers to make the Super Bowl.
Bills and Bucks were the Super Bowl pick, and it did not happen. Atlanta and Chicago, the Falcons are 6-point favorites in the Windy City.
6-point favorites. You're playing Chicago.
It's on the road.
I don't care.
It's the NFL.
I do not care.
Well, if you ask anybody right now, Terry, everyone will say that, there's a lot of people, Atlanta's going to have the hangover and blah, blah, blah. How bad is the hangover, really? Most of these teams don't get back to the playoffs. A lot of these teams don't get back to the playoffs. But the last few years, actually, that hasn't happened except once in the last 7 years, Smoke. Who's it been?
Carolina.
Okay, so, people, it used to happen all the time, but in the last 7 years, the Super Bowl losing team has made the playoffs except for once, and it was the Panthers last year. They get 6-10. We'll get to them in just a few minutes. We're going to go down the schedule. Real quick, Jacksonville at Houston. Houston favored by 4.5. Is that too little, too much? Is it just a matter of time before Deshaun Watson gets in there? Are they going to dedicate this whole season to Tom Savage? What do you think, Terry?
I think Watson is their future, just like I think Trubisky is the future at Chicago. It's just that the quarterbacks you have in there now, how long do you have? I mean, are we going to go 2 weeks, 3 weeks before we make a change, or are we going to give you like half a season? Because, your season starts tomorrow and you want to get off to a good start, because if you fall and you go like 1-3 or 1-4, the chances on you making the playoffs are not good.
And also, I think, as Houston, they got such a great defense. They're going against Jacksonville, who is horrendous as an offense with Blake Bortles as quarterback. I mean, I think you can get away with Savage this week. Don't remember the rest of the schedule, but it's just a matter of when, not if, for guys like Trubisky and Deshaun Watson, when they're going to get in. But Houston is one of the teams that has a new quarterback that actually has been in the playoffs the last few years. So it'll be interesting to see what they do.
All right, let's. We're going to talk about all the teams. I'm going to do a power poll here in a second. Let's go through the games and pick our winners. Y'all can just tell me straight up winner. I'm going to tell you the spread too. Philadelphia at Washington. Who you got?
I got Philadelphia pulling an upset already. Game 1.
Spread's only 2.5. Washington's actually favored. And when Terry says upset, I don't think it's an upset. I think Philadelphia might have a run at the division. But we'll see about that. Smoke, who you got in this game?
I got Philly.
Arizona at Detroit. Smoke. The Lions are actually favored by 2.5 against the Cardinals.
That's a tough one.
Few bettors. Three is usually what the home team gets.
Yeah.
Automatically, just for being at home. So that tells you that they actually like Arizona by half a point. Is what the bettors really like.
I'd probably go with Arizona.
I got Detroit winning.
This is what I think might be the game of the week. Or there's 3 or 4 really good games on the schedule, but this one's going to be it's going to be real telling in the AFC because we don't really know what's going to happen. Is Kansas City really that good? Is New England really that bad? No, probably. Oakland versus Tennessee. Oakland on the road is favored by 1 point, and Tennessee might have one of the best running games in the NFL. Terry, who you got?
That's what I'm saying. I think the ground game's going to make a difference, and Tennessee pulls a win.
Well, Oakland ain't been able to stop anybody. Tennessee's been able to stop some people.
Yeah, Tennessee in a mini upset, but not really that surprising.
Oakland's one of those teams when they play a mediocre or bad team, you're going to pick them to win. But when they're playing a team with a solid defense and a good running game, it's going to be tough, don't you think, Terry?
Oh, yes.
Interesting thing, both these quarterbacks in that game, Carr and Mariota, both of them coming off leg injuries too. And
Tampa and Miami moved to Week 11. Is that right?
Yes,
Week 11.
And since 1990, there have been 8 teams that have had to do something like this. Only one of them has made the playoffs.
I don't think that the bye week thing is a big deal. The way they play Mondays and Thursday night games anyway, it messes everything up. Speaking of that, you know what's unfair? Have you seen the Saints-Patriots matchup? Did you hear about this? Patriots played Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Saints play Monday.
Ooh.
And they both play each other Sunday.
Yeah.
So the Saints get 3 or 4 days to prepare for the Patriots, and the Patriots get 8 days to prepare for them and get to sit at home and watch them play. We talk about, some people worry about the schedule and everything, but they've got to look at things like that. That right there is not fair at all to New Orleans.
Well, it happened last year too, because Carolina played on
Thursday.
Well,
I
no,
thought you talking about the opening weekend.
No,
Don't give me that one.
No,
so.
Carolina played on
the
Thursday,
Monday
and then San Francisco played on Monday. Then they had to travel to the East Coast,
right?
And, so it's happened 2 straight years now. But take the over in that game against New England and New Orleans.
Yeah, Baltimore at Cincinnati. Cincinnati favored by 1. Who you got?
Cincy.
I got Baltimore.
We don't. It says Flacco's probable. We haven't seen him all off season. Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Pittsburgh is favored by 9.5.
Take the under.
Who y'all got to win?
Roethlisberger never loses to Cleveland, so you take Pittsburgh.
Are you giving up the points?
More than likely.
I take Pittsburgh, but I think it's going to be closer.
You think Cleveland covers?
Yeah, I think Cleveland covers.
9.5 points. Indianapolis at the L.A. Rams.
That's an ugly one too.
The Colts are favored, and Andrew Luck is not playing. How is this not the easiest bet in
Jacoby
today?
Brissett from New England.
I mean,
they're not starting him.
Rams are going to win this game easy, ain't they? I would say, don't y'all think? Aaron Donald's not playing.
No, my whole deal in this game right here is
Aaron
the Rams
Donald's
should win
out.
because Indianapolis has no clue who's quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand why they would be 3.5 road favorites without their quarterback in week 1. So for you bettors out there, you might want to get on that Rams game. That'll probably be the upset of the week, and Colts win by 20 there after I said that. Seattle at Green Bay, Packers by 3 on the favorite. Over-under on that's 50.5.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Just because they're at Lambeau, I'll go Packers.
I'm going to go Packers too.
Both of you go Packers. Seattle just added Sheldon Richardson.
That was a pretty good trade.
Already good defense.
That's
they're gonna be tough to deal with. We're gonna skip that game real quick. Skip that game. New Orleans at Minnesota, Monday night, 3.5. The Vikings are favored as Drew Brees brings in the old Viking, Adrian Peterson. Who you got?
I got New Orleans winning this one.
I do too.
It's I think that New Orleans, I think, wins. Just that
Peterson's had 7 months to get ready for this one game. If he don't get anything other than have a good game Monday, he's gonna play Monday, and it's on the turf too. It's not like
And if they had Bridgewater, if the Vikings had Bridgewater,
that would be different.
Yeah,
you're right.
That defense is so good. That's going to be the interesting matchup. There is the defense of Minnesota against the offense.
I don't see New Orleans not scoring 20, almost 30 points a game. I mean, you're going to have to. It's just going to be every game for them. Almost is going to be how many they give up. Don't you think? The Saints all.
Yeah, I just think that whole division is still going to be the same.
Division's the same way.
Yeah,
I don't think you got to look at the defense before the game and be like, how many are you going to give up, guys?
That's exactly right. I'm talking the whole division, even Atlanta. I think Atlanta's defense is going to fall right back to what they
Tampa's
was.
the only one of the 4 that had a top 20 defense in scoring. They were 15th. The rest of them were, I think, Panthers were 26, and then the other 2 were like last and dead last. Is what the rest of the division was. Nobody was stopping anybody last year. We'll see how that works out. I guess go this year. Chargers at the Broncos. Broncos by 4. Phillip Rivers, an experienced group in Denver to open the season.
Yeah, and I always want Phillip Rivers to come out strong and start strong, but I think playing in Denver's going to win.
I'm actually taking the Chargers. I really like the Chargers to be maybe a sneaky team in the AFC West that might maybe sneak into the playoffs. I'm serious here. They got a pretty good defensive core, and their offense, if they can stay healthy, I'm looking at you, Keenan Allen. they could possibly win 9 or 10 games and maybe sneak into the playoffs this year.
All right. We've got Giants at Cowboys. Cowboys favored by 6 points, and they got beat twice by the Giants last year, Terry.
They did. I just think Dallas has grown up a lot this year, and they had the number 1 rushing defense in the NFL last year. Dallas is going to win this game. Ezekiel Elliott's back. They know relax now and play the game like it should be played. I'm just going to be honest with you. The whole NFL needs to watch out because them Cowboys are here.
I hear you, Terry. They were 5th last year in scoring defense, and they lost 3/4 of their secondary. Yeah. So that is going to be the key to this year's team. I think Zeke has been freed on the injunctions and all the other fancy legal terms last night. It doesn't mean he's not going to be suspended. He might be suspended next year for 6 games is what it might be. But it's not looking like it'll be this year. I don't know how all that works out that way. But Dallas looks like they're going to be at full strength offensively.
Even if Odell isn't playing tomorrow, I still think the Giants are going to win because, as you said, the secondary has been gutted. And you're kind of throwing guys to the wolves like Xavier Woods, Chidobe Awuzie, and
I hope the Giants. I hope Giants score 40 tomorrow because I got Brandon Marshall on my fantasy team.
But you got to have Eli Manning. Eli Manning's going to have to be the guy to do it.
Yeah,
I mean, he's going to have to be.
I'm seeing a lot.
I have seen him throw interceptions at the wrong time.
I'm seeing a lot of people use the word elite with this Giants defense too, Terry. That's one thing.
Pretty darn good.
That's one thing going to have to worry about for the Cowboys. It's going to be tough. I think those two teams are going to battle it out once again. And if they split, if one team wins 2 games over another, I think that team is the favorite in the division. Now, if they split, I think that gives Philadelphia a chance. I know, Terry.
Yeah, Giants beat them twice last year.
I know,
could not
Terry,
win the league.
Dallas played a cakewalk schedule last year.
They're playing the first place schedule.
Yeah, now they got a first place schedule.
And they got a veteran offensive group that can score.
Well, and they get their leading receivers back from last year, Cole Beasley. Good luck with that for 2 years in a row. I talked about that earlier. I don't think Dez is letting that happen again. If he does, there's going to be some arguments down there. All right, Smoke. That brings us to the Carolina Panthers favored by 4 in San Francisco.
I think it'll be this game. I'm comparing it to the Jags game 2 years ago, where they looked sluggish in the first half, but then they got edged out to win 20-9 over Jacksonville. I think it'll be about 21-13, I would say, will be the final of Carolina winning. I think the offense will look sluggish, but I'm expecting that because Cam hasn't really thrown the ball. No one's known if he's thrown the ball more than 20 yards. So I think they're really going to be trying to ground and pound it with Stewart and McCaffrey. But I think San Fran's going in the right direction with Shanahan and John Lynch right now.
Terry?
I got San Francisco winning this game. I think it's going to be close, but San Francisco going to pull something out. Carolina's got to go all the way across the country to play. San Francisco wins 21-20.
Well, someone please tell me who San Francisco's quarterback is.
Brian Hoyer.
Yeah. I was trying to figure it out, and he's one of those guys that he's old. Is like Derek Anderson back in the day. He might have a really good day or a really bad day. Yeah. Question marks for the Panthers this year. Of course, it's going to be health. It's going to be the defensive backfield. It's going to be how is the offense going to evolve? It was already Cam happy to begin with. Why would if they're going to go away from what he does? Is he going to run less? Is he going to run more? He says he's going to keep running. There's a lot of questions they have to answer. Mm-hmm. Looking at that, you got to worry about these concussions. Kuechly's got a new neck pad that's supposed to help with that,
and a helmet too.
But the thing about it is, banging a head is banging a head, and he plays middle linebacker.
Yeah.
And he's got to. I don't know, Smoke, if he's going to change the way he tackles or change the way he plays. It just depends on how serious he takes the concussions, how serious they were, and we're gonna wait and see, I guess, on how because he's got to play it differently than Cam. Cam can avoid hits,
right? Yeah,
and Cam's also taller than everybody on the field. So to hit Cam in the head, he has to duck a lot of times, which he does. He ducks right into him, and nobody says anything about that. But it's hard to hit a 6'6" guy in the face. And he's got a chance to get out of it. Kuechly's hitting every play. And that's the thing you got to worry about with him. And then, of course, you got Thomas Davis. Got his GM fired because he wanted an extra 3-year deal, right?
No, I don't think it
Terry?
was.
Well, that's how I looked at it.
I mean,
it wasn't him. It wasn't him. It was Jerry
Okay.
getting mad because he wasn't going to get re-signed. I don't think TD had anything to do with it.
well, if he wasn't going to be re-signed, doesn't that make you have to worry about how good of a year he's going to have? Because they're going to cut him, you know?
Yeah, he's
They were
getting
thinking
older.
about it.
He kind of showed some deterioration a little bit last year. I'm just wondering if it's going to be.
How old is he now?
He's about 34.
Okay,
And,
I thought he was
and
older
he's
now.
got but he's 34, but he's got 3 ACL injuries. So I mean that is really nervous. You're wondering if his legs are just holding on by a thread. But I'm looking to see what Matt Khalil does because he has struggled mightily the last few years after his rookie year in Minnesota. He's shown the potential to be. He's already been an All-Pro tackle his first year, but can he get back to that? And maybe a change of scenery helps him. I just hope we don't hear that much from him, kind of like the whole Michael Orr situation 2 years ago.
That really worries me.
Yeah.
That y'all brought in a brother and they're playing on the same side of the line.
That could get hectic. Yeah.
So I mean, if it can start when not even if when they give up a sack or something start going bad, Cam yells at one brother or coach yells at one brother. I mean, is that going to there's a lot of factors into that, and the fact of the matter is, like you said, it'd be different if you were bringing in a Joe Thomas or somebody that you knew for a fact this guy's going to be good. The fans are already worried about him. He starts playing bad, then they're going to be fussing at both brothers, and now both Khalil.
And also, I remember, he really got, I think, feisty with the media in Minnesota. Just frustration, and I think he even deleted his whole social media accounts because he couldn't take the bashing from the fans in Minnesota. So I mean, it makes you wonder. And they gave him 5 years, $55 million. So that's a humongous deal for a guy who's struggled as much as he has for the last 2 to 3 years. But he got his surgery on his hip, which is kind of scary. He's getting like hip injuries already, and he's like 27. So I'm hoping it works out, but I've got my doubts.
All right, JP, let's take a quick break. We're going to come back, and we're going to do the What's Up Shopper Power Poll. Going to tell everybody my ins and outs of who's in the playoffs, who's out, how it works and everything. And then we're going to finish up with some NASCAR and a little baseball news to finish up today. All right, we'll be right back on KTCBroadcasting.com.
The end of summer savings sale is underway at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC in Shelby. Coming out for the largest savings of the year. Hi, I'm Calvin Hastings. I want to invite you to join the boss as we broadcast live this Saturday, September 9th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. We'll have free hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks, and register to win some great prizes, including tickets to this year's Renaissance Festival. And check out the great deals. Save up to $11,000 on selected 2016 Cadillacs. So plan now to be there this Saturday, September the 9th, for the end of summer savings sale event and our live radio remote broadcast at Renato Cadillac Buick GMC, located at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall.
4th and goal from the one. This is it. It's make or break. The game is on the line. Who's tougher? Who wants it more? These are the moments that can define a season. The play is called, and the huddle breaks. The roar of the crowd builds with anticipation. And then
nobody is going to stop him. Touchdown, Carolina.
Hear all the defining moments right here on the Tar Heels Sports Network.
It's big-time revelry at the Renaissance Festival. Saturdays and Sundays, October 1st through November 20th. Great family fun, adventure, and wackiness.
The Renaissance Festival is a great way to spend your day.
Jousting night. Men in tights. Hi.
The Renaissance Festival is crazy, unique, exotic, and smells delicious.
The Carolina Renaissance Festival is a medieval amusement park.
Shopping!
12 stages of music, comedy, and daredevil antics.
We love the Renaissance Festival.
Saturdays and Sundays, October 1st through November 20th. Discount tickets at Harris Teeter stores or print yours online at renfestinfo.com. Time traveling fun, presented by Pepsi.
Because it is just so much fun for everybody in the family. It doesn't matter what age you are.
Visit Lake Norman for amazing adventures, award-winning dining, and lots of outdoor fun. Visit Lake Norman, the lakeside of Charlotte.
It's time to tee it up at the Deerbrook Golf Club on Highway 180 North in Shelby. It's the friendly club and open to the public every day. Play and ride 18 holes Monday through Friday for $32. After 2 p.m., just $27. Weekends, play and ride 18 holes for $44 and $39 between 12 and 2 p.m. and $34 after 2 p.m. Seniors, play and ride Monday through Friday for $27. The Deerbrook Golf Club, Highway 180 North of Shelby.
Beat it. Oh, thanks, JP. Little Michael Jackson. All right, what's up, shopper? Eliminator Power Poll. $50 pick 'em every week. Get your picks in before Sundays at noon. We're picking the Sundays games. My picks are in the paper, and they'll be online every week. What's up, shopper? That's where you fill them out. And we've already went through some of the picks. This is the first week of the season, so how it works out is I eliminate a team every week from Super Bowl contention. I do not believe if I eliminate you that you will not win the Super Bowl. You're out. You're done. Get out of here. The team I eliminated before the season started has already started off 1-0. Got the best record in the NFL right now, right? No, they could start off 1-0 this weekend. If they do, they could have the best record in the AFC East. I got rid of the Jets before the season started. They have no chance to win the Super Bowl. Does anyone else disagree with that? Y'all good with that? Y'all good with that?
I'm good.
All right. Now, my next section is ranks 25 through 31. I titled it No Super Bowl for You Anytime Soon. That means I don't believe these teams are going to win the Super Bowl this year, and I also believe that they are not going to even contend really for anything. So in this group, I've got, and here's my records. If you guys disagree with any of them, please say something. I got San Francisco 2-14 at 31, Jacksonville at 30, 3-13. Bears at 29, 3-13. Rams at 28, 5-11. Bills at 27, 5-11. Browns at 26, 5-11. And the Colts at 25, 5-11.
At least the Bills have the best tailgate scene.
Anything wrong with those? You guys?
I'm good.
Y'all want to pump any of those into that they may make the playoffs? All right, now here's how the rest of it works. Those are easy, right? Now, every year in the NFL, 6 teams on average don't make the playoffs the year before, and 6 new teams going in. So under that premise, for fun, I decided to do it that way. I took 3 teams out of the AFC, 3 teams out of the NFC for the playoffs. Then we still got a back group of teams that I don't think are going to make the playoffs and didn't make it last year. That gives us group 19 through 24. These are teams that I do not think will make the playoffs this year. I know we're going to have some disagreements on them, so I'm going to read them down the list, and I'm going to let Terry say anything about any one of them if he thinks any of those will make the playoffs, and I'll let Smoke say something. At 19, I got the Philadelphia Eagles at 8-8. At 20, Baltimore 8-8. 21, the Vikings at 7-9. I got 22, the Carolina Panthers at 7-9. 23, the Los Angeles Chargers at 7-9. And 24, the Washington Redskins at 7-9. Terry, do you have any of those teams making the playoffs?
No.
Smoke, tell me about your Panthers.
It's going to be close. I think 9-7, 10-6 is what I'm kind of feeling right now. Just it really depends on the injuries that happen. The only one I feel like the Chargers do have a better. Well, the Chargers and the Panthers are the only ones I think I'd bump up a little bit more into a different category because I'm pretty high on.
Well,
both those
they
teams.
can't. The only other category they would go on in my list would be in the playoffs. So if I'm going to move them from 22 or 23, I would have to have the feeling they're going to win 2 more or 3 more games and make the playoffs. So
yeah.
This next group in the poll are the people who missed the playoffs. Whether I think they're going to be worse than the Panthers or not, that's how I did it. So I got the. So if I thought I think the Eagles might make the playoffs, but I got them at 8-8, 1 game behind the wild card at 9-7. Any more comments there about the Panthers? My biggest thing with them is that it seems to me they have more. They need more things to go right to have a good year than they need to go wrong.
And they got a plus. McCaffrey's really going to help them.
Right.
I mean, he's already proven that just in preseason.
Right. Well, but the defense was 26 last year.
Yeah, there's.
And I'm thinking everything went their way 2 years ago, and then everything went against them a year ago. I think it's going to be somewhere in the middle this year. You know?
And I've got them at 7-9. I mean, that's a one more win than last year. I just don't think they did enough to improve enough to be as good as everyone else in that division. That division is going to be tough. Tampa's offense might be the best offense in the league. New Orleans' offense might be the best offense in the league. Atlanta's offense might be the best offense in the league. So every week they got to come in thinking, we've got to hold them to 24, 20, keep them under 30, and then we've got to score more than 30. So is they going to get the same? They're going to get 30 points from Benjamin and Funchess and Olsen and hopefully McCaffrey as Atlanta will from their group and Breeze and the Bucks. That's the toughest thing in their division. If they were in another division, say the NFC North or another
AFC South
or the West or something like that, I think maybe 9 wins could be good. But I mean, there's too much. Here's all the questions I got for them. Okay, like I said, they didn't with the 8th pick in the draft. McCaffrey can play 10 years in this league, and the 8th pick in the draft, if he's not starting, it's tough to justify that. So if Stewart's starting, and McCaffrey may be the starter, and he may be the future. But the 8th pick in the draft, if they picked him at 20, I probably wouldn't say a word about it. But the 8th pick is just tough for me to justify picking the second best running back. He wasn't even the best running back, so it's tough for me to that. Then you added Peppers, who's 37, Mike Adams, who's 38. Cam was dead last in completion percentage last year, and he didn't practice all offseason, basically. And he's got new receivers and new offense. So how is that going to equate into playing better without practicing at all and not even know? And he's had a surgery on his shoulder, which Andrew Luck's not even playing the same surgery. And Cam also, not to mention his shoulder, had concussions. So all those questions. Now I haven't got to the defense yet.
Yeah, but if you ask Cam, I saw a minute ago on that one loss, I am ready. There's nothing wrong with me now.
I'm sure he is, and I'm sure Kuechly feels the same way. But you don't never know. Kuechly felt that way until a play later, and he's getting carted off crying on national TV. You just never know. And so all these questions. Let's see. Then the GM. You fire your GM. The Thomas Davis situation. Then the new GM, who's the old GM, who everybody hates, has got 2 kickers on the team. He just asked for everybody. All these people are mad at me anyway. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna keep 2 kickers and do a weird interview, and then I'm sure that'll get them off my back. I mean, they've got a lot of questions to answer. Don't get me wrong. If everything works out right, they could go 9-7, 10 wins. I think is the tops for them in that division in this league. But it's going to be tough. It really is. All right, got to move on. The next group are the 6 teams I think missing the playoffs this year. Y'all tell me if you think any of them will go back. I'm sure y'all got 2 or 3 in here already that are going back. Out of the playoffs at 18, Detroit Lions. They're going to be out or in? Y'all say out or in?
Out.
Number 17, Miami Dolphins.
Out.
Number 16, Kansas City Chiefs.
They're in.
Out.
They lost Eric Berry, Terry.
They're still in. They
lost all the running backs and everybody else. I got them at 8-8, missing by 1. That was before Berry went out, and it's gonna be tough. They could make playoffs. All right, at 15, I got the Houston Texans at 9-7 out of the playoffs.
Out.
I got them losing a tiebreaker for the playoffs, basically.
I want to say that.
So technically, I got them in, but they're out. My question was, how long is Tom Savage going to be the quarterback? I think.
But I don't. Do you really gain that much by Watson coming in his first time? I mean, is he going to make that much of a difference?
But the thing about it is that team hadn't really needed great quarterback play.
There you go, defensive wise.
Yep. Yeah. All right, 14. Here you go, Terry. Dallas Cowboys. I got them at 8-8.
No, Dallas is in.
Dallas is out, according to me. Have you read it yet? Did you see what I wrote?
No, I have not. They're still in.
Here we go, Terry. Introducing the new starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
Cooper Rush.
Yeah. I'm serious.
I'm going to tell you, this dude's not bad.
That's the first sentence. Dak better not sprain an ankle because the younger quarterback is on the roster and he's playing lights out and he's won the backup job.
Yeah.
It's the exact same that happened last year. Last season,
told us a
they
couple
threw
weeks
out the
ago when I
older
saw it.
quarterback for the younger one when he got hurt. Well, they do the same for Dak this year. Without Zeke, maybe the defense won't repeat the 2015 fifth ranking up. Can Prescott win games like everyone in Big D hopes he can and be the new savior of the franchise, or is Cooper Rush going to remain? I didn't say that part about Cooper. But no, I did joke that Cooper's the new quarterback because the way they stabbed Romo in the back last year and started a rookie against Aaron Rodgers and got beaten to the ground. All right, Atlanta Falcons at 13. I got them the first team out from the playoffs, and at 8-8.
I'm taking them out.
Smoke, we're running out of time. Golly. All right, here are my top 12 teams in the playoffs. At number 12, at 9-7, the Nolan Saints. Terry?
Yeah, they're in.
Out.
Terry,
they're in.
Out and in. Number 11, every other year it happens, the Cincinnati Bengals.
They're out.
In.
They're out.
I don't even feel good about them, Terry, but looking at everybody else, that's the only thing I could come up with because I had to take
Baltimore's
I had to
better
take 3
than that
out.
team.
You think Baltimore's better than
Yes.
the Bengals?
Really?
I don't know,
even without Flacco.
I don't know.
No.
All right, Denver at number 10, 9-7.
Out.
Their defense is good, but they can't score.
I had to take, like I said, I had to take Kansas City,
I'm going to take
Houston,
them out.
and
I
Miami
put Kansas
out. Somebody had
City
to
in,
go
so I took them out.
But remember, I did the 3-3. I'm
Yeah.
not holding y'all to that right now. So y'all got the freedom to do whatever you want. At number 9, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 10-6.
Oh, they're in.
In.
Number 8, the Tennessee Titans at
In.
10-6.
In.
Ooh. I'm going to go in. Yeah.
If you look at the rest of the conference, it's hard to put anybody else in. I think the last 2 AFC spots maybe get in by default or accident. Panthers made it by accident one year at 7-8-1, didn't they?
Yep.
That could happen, right? Here's my sleeper pick. The last team making the playoffs, new team, in for this year. That didn't make it last year. At number 7, 11-5 in the NFC West, the Arizona Cardinals.
I think they're out.
Out. I don't know what Carson Palmer's going to look like this year.
Well, he's got all kinds of weapons. He's got David Johnson. He's got a good defense.
Well, the defense has been gutted a little bit, I think.
Also got rid of Johnson. So
what Johnson?
Running back.
They didn't get rid of David?
That one doesn't matter anymore. It's not 2009, Terry.
All right. 6 returning teams. Here's the teams I got making.
Could help them.
Here's the teams I got making the playoffs from last year. Raiders, Packers, Steelers, Giants, Seahawks, and Patriots. Any arguments with that?
Nope.
No, I'll go with that.
Patriots, I got 15-1. I got to go on a 15-game winning streak.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to say.
My prediction. I got Seattle at 13-3, Giants 13-3. I know Terry don't like that. Pittsburgh 12-4, Packers 12-4, Raiders 13-3. My sleeper MVP pick of the year. Big Ben Roethlisberger.
The only thing I have about the Giants is a couple things. Number
Actually,
one,
if the Saints make the playoffs, it might be Drew Brees.
Giants have a great defense. That will keep them in every ball game. They beat Dallas twice last year and still couldn't win the division. Number 2 with them, they have no running game, period. So everything's on Eli Manning. Everything they can do is going to have to be with him unless the defense helps them on short field positions. So you're right back to the same team you had. I think the Giants will make the playoffs. They're going to get in, but then they're going to be out.
It's funny y'all both said the Cardinals won't make the playoffs. I've got them in the Super Bowl. Losing to the Patriots.
You're not the only one that has. I've seen a couple others put them in.
I mean, I've got them in the Super Bowl, losing to the Patriots. First round, I got Raiders over Bengals, Titans over Broncos. Second round, I got the Saints upsetting the Packers, Cardinals over Bucks. And not second round, that's first round NFC. Second round, I got Steelers over Raiders and Patriots over Titans, setting up a Patriots over Steelers AFC Championship game. I could pick that every year for the past 15 years.
Yeah.
Saints losing in Seattle, and the Cardinals beating the Giants, setting up a Cardinals over Seahawks AFC West champion, NFC Championship round. Cardinals with the upset, and the Patriots over Cardinals in the Super Bowl. Those are my picks on What's Up Shopper. You win $50. Go online, fax us, or email us. Go online on our website and go to the page, sign in, and log in to win $50. NFL Pick'em. Get them in before noon. We're going to update the page, get it ready here in just a little bit. It's me and Smoke's got some more things to type. All right, schedule for today. Tar Heels at noon, right? We've got Clemson at 7. Or is it 7:30, Smoke? Go in there and check that to make sure. Clemson and Auburn, Tar Heels and Louisville at noon. We got racing today. Real quick, we got to do our picks. We got to talk about that. Let's just get into that real quick. Terry today, Dale Earnhardt's last chance.
No, he's not going to win. I think Kyle Busch wins.
Terry's got Busch, so you don't think Logano does it either, right?
No.
So everybody going to stay still where they're at?
If anybody would pull one, it would be Logano.
All right. Smoke, as you get the schedule in there real quick, next week on KTC, guys, it's going to be a huge week. You're going to have to follow us, going to have to watch on KTC next week. We've got 5. Count them, 5 games on video, 5 games on YouTube. This will probably be, I ain't even looked at the schedule. It might be the only week that we have that. I'm pretty sure it is because we don't have too many games there in Lincoln County anymore. Yes, this will be the last time, Terry. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, yep. This will be the only time all year that we'll have 5 games in 1 week on YouTube. That'll be fun. Pick up Terry and Carson and Shannon next Friday night at 5:30. You can watch them live here. If you're watching us on KTC.com or YouTube right now, you can see us then. Next week, East Lincoln and East Gaston.
Cherryville Ironman Sports,
What
right
are y'all
here on
doing
Big
there?
O Country, WCSL, 1590 AM, Cherryville, Gastonia, online.
JP, that's what you get when you don't pay attention.
I did not hit anything, okay?
He really didn't. He really didn't. He was in there. He had his back turned, and the computer started playing. That's all right, JP.
I was innocent.
We got North Lincoln at Bessemer City, East Lincoln at East Gaston, Weddington at Crest, Shelby at Kings Mountain, Hendersonville at Burns. All right, Smoke, what you got in there on the schedule?
All right, starting at noon today. Actually, coverage starts at 11 in just an hour on all of our stations. It's Louisville at North Carolina. Defending the Heisman Trophy winner Lamar Jackson comes over to Chapel Hill. Then at 7 o'clock, Clemson Tigers taking on the Auburn Tigers in Death Valley. And then at 6:30 on WCSL, it'll be the Federated Auto Parts 400 at Richmond. And then on September 10th, it'll be the Carolina Panthers taking on San Francisco. Coverage starts at 3:30 on all of our stations. And on Monday, September 11th, the New Orleans Saints takes on Minnesota at 6:30 on WHS and WLON. And that is their coverage.
Did you say Panthers play at what time?
Coverage will start at 3:30. Kickoffs at about 4:25.
Okay, I just want to make sure they had a 4 o'clock kickoff. All right. I want to thank everybody for listening on WCSL 1590 AM, WLON 1050 AM. Also want to thank everybody for watching online at ktcbroadcasting.com and on our YouTube channel. Thank everybody for watching those. And last night, next week's schedule, like I said, we got 5 games on the video. No Cherryville Ironman next week. They have the week off. As Coach Pruitt and the gang will celebrate their 2-2 victory and have a good weekend and a good week off. All right, Terry, any other comments real quick? Baseball or anything before we get out of here? I know we're kind of ran late on that.
No, the only thing with baseball is I'm a Kansas City man, and we probably finished our season yesterday.
You got a fantasy football team?
No.
Okay, I've got mine. I've got Andy Dalton, quarterback, Brandon Marshall. I can't remember who my other wide receiver is this week. And then my running backs, Terry, are LaShawn McCoy, Marshawn Lynch, and Adrian Peterson. If it was 3 years ago, I'd have the best team of all time. All right, guys, we got to go here on KTC Broadcasting. JP, pay attention. I'm trying to go to a commercial. You're out of commercials. Oh, my gosh. Somebody's got to go back to work.